Hi, I'm Professor Beck, Strah.
And I'm producer Brit, and this is the news.
It's the news, put on your new shoes, 'cause it's time to get up off your chair and hear the news without a care. Said it's the news, wash away your blues, 'cause it's the prison news.
Surf's up, comrades! Welcome to Prison News. I am Professor Beck, Strah. That is producer Brit. We are reporting the news together to you.
Ahoy, dudes.
Ahoy, dudes. And greetings.
Yes.
We were just, before the podcast, we were talking about the best cereals. Producer Brit and I, we're united in our front on what makes an S-tier cereal. And we're of the opinion, the official opinion of the podcast, the three S-tier cereals.
Mm-hmm.
Captain Crunch with Crunch Berries.
Absolutely.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Mm-hmm. And your addition.
Honey Nut Cheerios.
That's right. If you think that there is another cereal that can best those, please.
Although technically Honey Nut Cheerios is also a B tier cereal. BEE tier cereal. Because it's got a B as the mascot.
All right. Well, dear listener, if you think that there's an addition that we missed, something important that you think deserves consideration for that S-tier of cereals, let us know at prison.breakdown on Instagram.
Or ebronson at rwu.edu. If you're especially mad about it, that's where you send it.
Yeah. And please don't hold back. Let's get to some news.
Let's get into it. All right. So our first news article of the day is coming out of Wisconsin from News from the States. Part of
wait, roll it back. Is this a newsletter? What is this?
No, it's newsfromthestates.com, part of States Newsroom.
Yeah, that's not real. Okay, continue.
So I know. I'm like, is this AI news? It's just daffy stuff. Come on. But it appears to be, sourced in different places. So I'm gonna hope it's real. So article of this says Department of Corrections advocates clash over prison conditions after protest. So, amidst a heat wave in Madison, people who were once incarcerated in Wisconsin's prison system and supporters gathered Wednesday morning to protest outside the Wisconsin Department of Corrections central office. Speakers supported a lower prison population, better living conditions for incarcerated people, and independent oversight of the prison system, which has been the target of criticism for a rash of deaths in custody, as well as conditions of confinement in aging and understaffed facilities. Mark Rice, Transformational Justice Campaign Coordinator, says, quote, "There's a severe overcrowding crisis in Wisconsin's prison system right now. Rice said the crisis is creating dangerously unstable conditions for people who work in the prisons as well as incarcerated people. In October, the State of Wisconsin Building Commission voted to release $15 million to prepare preliminary plans and a design report for a prison system revamp, a step towards large-scale structural change to the system of prison facilities. Rice urged people to get out and vote and said voters should talk with candidates and elected officials about the state of Wisconsin's correction system. He referenced his group Wisdom's gubernatorial candidate forum last month, saying, quote, "I want to see candidates have the courage to set up and talk about these issues too," unquote. The Wisconsin Department of Corrections provided a detailed statement in response to a request for comment from the Examiner, replying to the criticisms of Wisconsin's correction systems from activists. The department first directed the Examiner to the last four state budgets proposed by Governor Tony Evers, who I actually campaigned for back in the day. He's saying, quote, much of which were rejected by the Republican-controlled legislature. communications director Beth Hardkey said. Beyond that, she continued, you will need to ask lawmakers what their plans are to address Wisconsin's corrections challenges and move our correctional system into the 21st century.
You know, it's an interesting point that you bring up there. Like, we want to, and we need to see more candidates actually raising these issues of what's going on in prisons. But with people, first off, people who are incarcerated in Wisconsin can't vote. So that's out of the picture. Like, they know that they're not out there campaigning on behalf of people who will vote for them, which is something that many politicians will avoid. Like a national politician is not going to go, if you're running for president, and you're a Republican, you're not going to campaign in the bluest state of all, because that might not be a good use of your time. But it is such an important issue. There's still people, they're stuck in shitty conditions, and there needs to be people speaking on their behalf to make these conditions better. And we need candidates speaking about this.
Right. One thing I do appreciate about Wisconsin that they enacted several years ago, and I think I was actually part of this campaign too with the Tony Evers thing, was back in sometime in the 2010s, maybe, I think, they decided to do reenfranchisement voting legislation. So basically, ex-felons, if they're not currently on parole or like supervision or anything like that, they can vote.
Dope.
Yeah,
yes.
Which I think is great. I think, reenfranchisement is like important, especially because like felon disenfranchisement, I think, is antithetical to corrections in the first place and America, really. It's
and
like
democratic government.
Yeah, it's saying, hey, like, you're a citizen, you did your time for a crime, but you're still going to be penalized by not being able to advocate for yourself.
Yeah. I remember years ago having a long conversation with an ex-girlfriend's dad about this, and he's like, no, if they committed murder, they shouldn't vote. And I'm like, yeah, but why does murder affect your ability to vote? Like, why does it affect your ability to make decisions? They're not going to pass like the Let Murderers Out of Prison Act. It's not anything to do with that. Your offense, unless you committed like voting fraud, should not have any effect on your ability to vote.
So at least in Wisconsin, they did take that into account. And so all felons who have served their time and are no longer under any kind of supervision are allowed to vote unless they have been convicted of a felony level bribery or treason crime. Yeah,
treason is interesting in that you almost never hear of anybody getting charged with treason.
I know, and I'm surprised. I mean, well, you technically, I think now you are. What's going on in Texas is basically they're trying people for treason for protesting. Like,
yeah, true. Historically, it's been a very unused term in the courts.
Yeah,
a very unused charge, I should say. It's you don't see a lot of people committing treason because I think treason also, like under traditional definitions, would take a lot of like international connections and networking to carry out.
Right. Definitely. And treason, I think, also requires a certain amount of power in order to, carry out. Like, you can't really commit treason if you're just like a regular blue collar worker, unless you're working in like a weapons factory or something and doing, I don't know, just messing stuff. I don't know exactly how you would. Yeah, there's very few opportunities, I think, for treason.
Totally. It's all about opportunity and access. It's like white collar and occupational crime. You can't commit white collar crime and occupational crime unless you have the position to be able to like embezzle or commit forgery or whatever it is that you're trying to do.
Yeah. Like, yeah, your regular street level gangster has no opportunities whatsoever to ever commit treason. So
No. I completely agree. But that's interesting, and hopefully we see some action on the part of Wisconsin's government to improve prison conditions.
It seems we have from the executive branch. However, the Republican-controlled Congress there is blocking everything because, as we know, Republicans don't care about prisoners.
No. No. Historically, it has been a lot of get tough measures, and Democrats are complicit in this as well.
They're not much better, but
more.
they're at least, we at least have some Tony Evers and people who are actually trying to ameliorate conditions for prisoners, whereas Republicans are the ones vetoing and blocking all of that.
Yeah, and that's ridiculous. Clean it up, Wisconsin. Now, I'm going to bring us to a less happy story. Not that this was a happy story.
Definitely
We're just going less happy. This is reported to us in the Hartford Courant. They reported that last month we lost a man. A man died who had set records for U.S. prisons. And that man is Francis C. Smith. And he spent 76 years behind bars before he died last month. Essentially, at age 25, Smith and a partner burgled the Indian Harbor Yacht Club in Greenwich, Connecticut. While the burglary was in progress, they get surprised by a night watchman, and they shot this guy to death. And this poor night watchman had only been on the job for like 2 days, and then he gets shot and killed. That's a rough life. So that was at age 25. And then a year later, Francis Smith is 26 years old. He's convicted of murder, and he gets sentenced to death by electric chair. And he heads to prison on June 7th, 1950. 3 years after that, by age 29, he has survived 8 execution dates after Connecticut Governor John Davis Lodge granted Smith 7 reprieves in the early 1950s. Imagine being ready to go to the electric chair, and then they're like, wait, no, pause. And that times 7. That's what happened to him.
That's a mock execution. That's torture. Under the Geneva Convention, that's torture. Saying you're going to kill someone and not killing them is a form of torture.
Is it better than killing them?
No, it's just as bad.
So he had these 7 reprieves from Governor Lodge, and his 8th reprieve came forward as a commutation of his sentence from the Board of Pardons. And what happened was he's 29 years old, and the Board of Pardons meets, and a state police major speaks up saying that he thinks Smith is innocent. And the police major questioned whether Smith was even present for the murder that he had allegedly committed. Apparently, at the meeting, this police major nearly gets into a fist fight with Smith's prosecutor, who said, no, Smith is very guilty, and the two of them start butting heads. It's also unheard of for a police major.
I was going to say, like,
on behalf of a suspect like this.
I don't know if ACAB includes that guy. That guy sounds okay.
Okay, cab. So it's one of those last minute commutations that Smith only got wind of it 2 hours before he was supposed to be executed. So
Christ almighty. Oh my God. Another mock execution.
He's sitting in the death cell at the state prison, like waiting to be led into the death chamber, just watching the clock, waiting to be put to death. And so this guy survived, 29 is how old he was at the time. So he survived 72 years more. Just last month, he died at age 101 while he was still in custody in the Connecticut Department of Corrections. He's believed to have served more time on a single sentence than anybody in U.S. history. I will say shame on the Hartford Courant for this one, because they said, according to Wikipedia, this is confirmed, as it is also on AI.
Wikipedia is not a source.
Also, AI should not be used as a source.
No.
Don't do that. Mm-hmm. So apparently the data that we have on long prison terms is really lacking, but there is some informal consensus that Smith holds the prison record. And he has also been held up as an example of some of the flaws behind capital punishment, since the state can't figure out if they're going to put him to death or not. Maybe not. Maybe he should not. It's like, stop that. And the testimony against him, apparently very whack. The 2 primary witnesses later on recanted their testimonies. And a third witness later confessed that it was him, not Smith, who killed the night watchman.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
They have a confession and this guy is still in jail and he died in jail?
It was never considered enough evidence to get Smith a new trial.
How? How is that not enough evidence? Someone else admitting to the crime is great evidence. That's a slam dunk. That's Michael Jordan in a slam dunk contest right there. Get out of here.
He should be able to walk right out of the prison at that point. But no.
No, he should be able to take whatever he wants with him out of the prison at that point. He should have free reign. That's his prison. Like
So during his incarceration, during his 76 years, there were a couple of times that Smith got out. One time in 1967, he was given a job in the prison auto shop and he drove away. He was caught shortly thereafter. And in 1975 to 1976, Mr. Smith was on parole for around 10 months and he returned to prison on a technical violation on the conditions of his release. So not even a new crime. And the records from the 1970s don't actually give an explanation for what happened. They were not very detailed. But he was released for a bit and then put back in prison. And at that point, Smith actually gave up the idea of release and he resigned himself to his eventual death in prison starting in 1976, starting 50 years ago.
Good
So,
God.
This happened earlier in 1976. And in November of 1976, he's actually up for parole again. And he said, nah. And he gets approached a number of times over the years. And he's like, I have no interest. He gets approached by an attorney for the Innocence Project at one point who advocated for his release. But Smith is like, man, I'm not interested. Stop bothering me. And he actually got paroled in July of 2020 after serving 70 years and 31 days for murder. But he had no place to go. So the state put him in a nursing home where it puts inmates who need long-term care. And so Smith stayed there for the past 6 years, paroled, able to leave to the outside. But he stayed here paroled in under Connecticut DOC supervision until his death on June 25th of this year.
Oh my God.
When he was approached over and over again, he said, I have no place to go. Most of my family is dead. I don't want to embarrass the family members who are still alive by bringing up my past.
Oh my God. Like, this is just the most tragic story of institutionalization of all time.
Yeah. It's absolutely horrendous. And as far as him in prison, the record says, hey, so he can be remembered more fondly here. He was a loner and this older guy that people called Birdman because he would open his window to let pigeons in and he adopted them as pets. And one former inmate remembers him going to the chow hall at a time when you could have as much bread as you wanted. And Smith would take like 10 loaves back to his room and just feed the birds all day. And I think that's dope. So, Mr. Smith, I'm glad you are remembered in some way.
Okay, I see why he wanted to remain in prison. Unlimited bread? That's like living
like the Olive Garden.
I was gonna say it's like living at the Olive Garden, brother. Would you ever leave?
Maybe pick some of the weeds outside, make some roughage for the unlimited salad.
Get a little canola oil and like garlic salt. Make some unlimited breadsticks for yourself, brother.
So this whole thing it's a tragic failure on the part of the prison system, and I wish that something better would have happened for him at some point.
Yeah, I mean, that's the justice system in America, though. There's no justice, but there is a system.
Yeah, I heard.
Yeah.
So I heard you have a little more news. Hit me.
Oh, I think before that, we should give an extra special shout out to our extra special sponsor, the Roger Williams University School of Justice Studies.
Studies.
Oh, gosh. You know, they have so many amazing schools with great degree, certificate, and postgraduate studies offerings. Did you know that?
Oh, I did know that because I work there. And
you do work at one of those schools, yes. Well, we have the School of International Relations. We've got sociology. We've got the anthropology department. How about forensic science? That's pretty cool. Political science, also cool.
Very cool.
Legal studies, studying legality. That's pretty neat.
Extremely cool.
Public administration, administrating the public, also neat. And of course, we got the big boys over in criminal justice.
Criminal justice.
And of course, an incredible, once in a lifetime, unforgettable, unmissable certificate opportunity in leadership.
At this point, I gotta say, School of Justice Studies. Maybe producer Brit should just get an honorary certificate in leadership after leading this podcast ship into beautiful, placid waters.
Indeed. Yeah. So thank you so much, Roger Williams University School of Justice Studies, for your lovely patronage and sponsoring this podcast.
We salute you.
We do. So, on to my last article of the day. This one comes from the international realm, from a little place called Israel. Lots going on in the news there today, but this one,
Tell me.
prison specific. So this comes from DW.com, and the title is Israel clears way for crocodiles to stop prison breaks.
Oh, cool. This is exactly what everywhere needed. So are they hiring crocodiles as corrections officers, or COs would be crocodile officers?
That's a good question. Also, what if legendary actor Paul Hogan is incarcerated in Israel? The Crocodile Dundee. I believe that would be ample opportunity for a great prison escape.
Oh, here's a joke I wrote years ago. What kind of pants does Paul Hogan wear?
What's that?
Crocodile dungarees.
Okay.
Right, well.
That does have the structure of a joke.
Hit it.
Yes. All right. So Israel's environmental protection minister, Idit Salman, has given a new classification to crocodiles in a move that may allow the reptiles to be deployed for security tasks, such as maintaining security at prisons. The country's far... Yeah.
Do you think that he understands that you can't actually control crocodiles?
I think he might have watched The Crocodile Hunter or Crocodile Dundee a few too many times and thinks that perhaps they are friends who you can control.
Yeah. The Crocodile Hunter Collision Course. It was a movie I saw in theaters after I was going to Reign of Fire, and the projector apparently caught on fire.
Very ironic. Isn't it ironic? Don't you think? It's like rain!
On my Reign of Fire, it's like Reign of Fire.
Yes.
So I couldn't go see that movie anymore because the projector was on fire. So we're already at the movie theater. And we're like, I might as well go to Crocodile Hunter the movie. And I believe he like stops a satellite from crashing into the earth or something wild like that. It's magnificent. I can't recommend it enough.
Heck yeah. So the country's far-right national security minister, Itamar Ben-Gvir, reportedly in December proposed using crocodiles around a prison for Palestinian detainees, similar to a U.S. migrant detention center in Florida dubbed Alligator Alcatraz.
Oh, yeah.
So
we've done an episode on that.
We have. The new classification puts the crocodiles in a category of cultivated wild animal instead of wild animals. It would allow an approved security organization to keep Nile crocodiles for security purposes subject to government approval and conditions set by environmental authorities. One such body is the Israel Prison Service, which answers to Ben-Gvir. Israel media reported that Ben-Gvir intends to use crocodiles to guard Ketzuit prison in southern Israel, which primarily holds Palestinian security prisoners. In a Facebook post on Thursday, Ben-Gvir wrote, "Are you thinking of attempting an escape? Think again." He accompanied the post with an AI-generated image of himself with a crocodile on a leash.
So who is he asking here? Because I don't think any of the Palestinian prisoners will be able to read that post on Facebook if they're incarcerated.
No, it's literally security theater.
I would go see that theater.
Yes. He's a Ben-Gvir, a security thespian.
Yeah.
Yes.
Somebody make an AI of that.
Yes, we're doing a production of Security in the Park. Israel's Channel 13 reported that the Israel Nature and Parks Authority spoke out against Ben-Gvir's proposal when he first put forward the idea last year. The authority said wild animals should be kept only for research and educational purposes. It also cited previous problems with bred crocodiles escaping into the wilderness and posing risks to human lives.
So, like, do you think that they're like, okay, we're going to put him in a moat so nobody gets out? It's going to be safe. It's going to be okay. Or we're going to keep him on leashes. Here's an AI of him in a leash.
Here's the thing about moats. Crocodiles can go on land, you know? It's a crazy thing. But like, they don't just go in water. They're what's called amphibious.
When you said moats, I thought you were going to quote the classic line by the Fresh Prince.
Oh yes.
It's a castle with a moat. How I get across? Boom.
Yes, I love that, dear listener.
So good.
What song is that? Do you know?
It's like Haunted Castle or something. I don't even remember.
Will Smith, you're so funny.
Let's see. It's no. I looked it up and Google just gave me the address for the mansion in Bel Air that is used for exterior shots in the Fresh Prince.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
There's no moat there. There's no moat. They don't have to use boat.
No, that's also a good point. No,
Yeah.
okay. So you think that crocodiles are amphibious and they can get out of the moat. So that's a problem for them escaping into the wilderness and putting lives at risk.
Yep. I think the cost benefit and return on investment here are just dismal and they don't make sense. It is nothing but security theater. Like, instead of crocodiles, here's an idea. How about you put up a fucking fence?
Yeah. I like that. I also read this article, and I like that Israel's Channel 13 also reports the idea was met with ridicule by several officers from the Israel Prison Service.
Yeah,
like everyone knows it's a stupid idea.
It's
an
an atrocious idea. It is dumb. It is bad, and it is meant to just put on a show.
This is Trump trying to reactivate Alcatraz as a prison. Like we've done the cost analyses in the past. It's not worth it. It's a crumbling infrastructure. You're doing this as security theater. You're trying to scare people and show people that you're tough on crime. There are other ways to do it that are more humane and less stupid.
And here's my big question. What crime? Tough on crime. These are Palestinian prisoners who, I mean, we know that tons of innocent people are being extrajudicially killed by the IDF. It makes me wonder how many of these people are actually guilty of anything.
Right. There are very well maybe plenty of political prisoners being held there.
I'm sure it's almost entirely political prisoners. I would say this is probably most of their prisons now that hold Palestinian prisoners are probably something close to the American version Gitmo, which had a conviction rate of like 5% of all the prisoners ever sent there during the Iraq and Afghanistan war. Just a nothing conviction rate because these people are innocent.
Yeah. It all goes back to theater. We're posturing as tough on, not even tough on crime, just tough on
Palestine.
Yeah, tough on Palestine. Mm-hmm. Exactly. And you guys, you don't need to do that. It's okay.
No. Well, that's my dismal news. Sorry.
As Pac once said, peace in the Middle East, dude.
Peace in the Middle East.
And with that, let's cut it there and call it a day.
Yeah. Well, thanks once again to our lovely sponsor, Roger Williams University School of Justice Studies. And
thank you, Roger Williams University School of Justice Studies. We salute you.
If you enjoy this podcast, please like, rate, and subscribe wherever you get podcasts.
Give the 5 stars and write us a nice review.
Yeah, please.
We'd like to hear from you. And if you didn't like the podcast, email ebronson@rwu.edu.
If you don't like anything about this podcast, send a very thorough breakdown to ebronson@rwu.edu.
Not even this podcast. If you don't like anything, this is our complaints department.
Yeah. If you just want to complain about politics or food or your relationship, he wants to hear. I mean, we want to hear it. We definitely want to.
Yeah. We do. Yeah, that's the group email. That's it's filtered by one of our co-hosts, but you know, he's not here. Bronson, we miss you. Come back soon, and you, dear listener, come back soon. With that,
I think it's time for a little bit of Lights Out.
Lights out.